Okay, in this video episode, I'm going to show you how to simplify positive and negative numbers and variables within expressions. So the very first example I'm going to show you, I'm just going to expose it right over here. And what we have is 8a times negative 3b times 2. So we're multiplying throughout here. We've got positive and negative variable in numbers. So how do we do this? So what's the first thing we want to do? Well, first of all, let's start to recognize that the first thing you want to do when you're multiplying positive and negative variables is to bring together the numbers. Let's multiply out the numbers. So if I separate the numbers, we have an 8 there, we have a minus 3 there, and a positive 2 there. So I'm going to write them out separately. So we've got a positive 8, it's positive, times negative 3, I'll put brackets around that, times positive 2. So we separate them, and then what we're going to do is multiply by the a and the b. The a and the b. So let me just write them over here. So that's going to be times a times b. They're separated. So let's work with the numbers first. So we got positive 8 times negative 3. So I'll put a brackets around this. So we work out in pairs. The best way to do is work with pairs and then expand gradually as we work with pairs. So the first pair is the two numbers of positive 8, negative 3. So we've got a positive times a negative. We know that the positive times a negative is what? It's a negative. So we have a negative 3 times 8 is 24. Now we multiply that by positive 2. Bring the 2 down there. So again, we have a negative times a positive. This time the negative's on the left, positive's on the right. Negative times a positive again is a negative. So the answer will be negative 2 times 24 is 48. Now let's drag and drop the a and the b. So that's going to be times a times b. So when we multiply, we can just bring them together. So all we have to do now is say that the answer equals negative 48 a b. And there's our answer, all simplified. Okay, let's try another expression here. We're going to simplify this next one. So what do we have here? This one here, we're dividing, and we're working with exponent powers, as you can see there. Okay, what's the first thing we can do here? Well, we got negative 7 all squared divided by negative 7m. I forgot to say m there. Negative 7m all squared divided by negative 7m. Okay, so how do we do this? Well, the first thing we want to do is work with this squared here. Now, since it's squared to the power of 2, we can write it out twice, can't we? So let's go ahead and do that. So it's the same as saying negative 7m multiplied, that dot means multiply, another negative 7m. So let's work with that. So what we have, first of all, is to recognize that we have a negative times a negative, and two negatives, when you multiply, turn into a positive. So it's going to be positive. 7 times 7 is 49, and m times m is m to the power of 2, or m squared. So what we did is we worked with the negatives first, then the numbers, and then the m's. There's three components to work with. So negative times negative is a positive. 7 times 7 is 49, and m times m is m squared. So that's the left-hand side. Now let's put the divide down. Let's drag this down here. So it's divided by, again, negative 7m. Okay, what can we do here? Well, let's do the numbers with the numbers. We have positive 49 divided by negative 7. So what I'm going to do is put a circle around this, because they go together, the numbers with the numbers. So positive 49 divided by negative 7. So a positive divided by a negative gives us an answer that's what? It's going to be a negative. Positive divided by a negative is a negative. Now let's work with the numbers. 49 divided by 7. 49 divided by 7 is 7. And then we have m squared divided by m. Now you remember exponent powers, if you've done them. Well, m squared divided by m, and essentially m by itself means m to the power 1, but you don't need to write the 1, but it actually means there's a 1 there. So when we divide two bases that are the same, in other words, m and m, what do you do with the powers? Well, the powers you subtract. So this becomes m to the power of 2 minus 1. So 2 minus 1 equals m to the power of 1. In other words, we're saying that when m squared is divided by m, we get m to the power of 1. So over here we have m squared divided by m is simply m to the power of 1. Bring that, put it over there. So let's check it again. We have 49, positive 49 divided by negative 7. That gives us a negative 7. M squared divided by m, that gives us m. So the answer is negative 7m.